Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to yet another computer video where today we'll be going from Team Green to Team Red. Jam-packed in there, a little Team Rocket vibe going on. It's one thick boy, the biggest card that you can fit in this chassis. So yes guys, as you can see today we're going to be going from the GeForce RTX 2080 Ti to the AMD Radeon RX 6900 XT. We're jumping ship. We're going from NVIDIA to AMD. And of course today we're going to be working in the Corsair ONE Pro 2017 edition if you've been following along with the previous videos. But yeah, right now it's a pretty good opportunity to pick up a quote-unquote last gen graphics card if you're in the market for one. With the release of NVIDIA new 40 series and AMD new 7000 series, the 30 series and 6000 series are quite well priced if you can go in the used market and find a good one. But with that being said, let's jump straight into it and start with the GPU swap. Alright guys, so first things first, you want to get your 2017 Corsair ONE Pro, pop the top off with the button in the back and disconnect the top fan. This is going to give you access to the two top screws, which you will need to undo to get the side panel off. So once you have these two undone, pop the side panel off, and then while you're here, you can go ahead and undo the top display cables. At this point you can tip the computer on its side and we can continue going. One screw on the top left for the little GPU bracket, and if you're still running the factory riser cable that came with the computer, there's going to be another screw on the bottom there where the PCIe connector is. So if you got that one, go ahead and take that one out as well. But with those screws out, you should be free and ready to start wiggling and jiggling your GPU out of there. I actually forgot how tight the 2080 Ti was kind of jam-packed in there, so here I'm doing my best to kind of gently and softly pry it out of there with the connector and everything. And just a couple moments later I managed to get it out. We can disconnect the two PCIe power cables, and with that the 2080 Ti is free in all its glory. I actually forgot how good this card looks in the stock reference design. I'm going to be sad to see it go, but we're moving on to something a bit nicer, a bit newer, and something that doesn't look too bad itself. So here we go, quick unboxing of the 6900 XT. I did pick up this card used. The difference between selling the 2080 Ti and picking this one up meant that I could go to a whole new generation just for a couple $100. But yes, this is also the stock reference design 6900 XT. Did I mention I have a thing for reference design cards? But this one is made by Power Color actually, but as you can see, it looks great. Honestly, the triple fans, I'm loving it. And the R's with the little red accents definitely has a little Team Rocket vibe going on. Here we can take the opportunity to do a little side comparison with the 2080 Ti. I didn't really measure the 6900 XT against the 2080 Ti beforehand to see if it would fit. I just kind of crossed my fingers and hope it would. But as you can see here, the cards are pretty much the same length. The biggest difference is the actual thickness. The 6900 XT is a lot thicker. It's one thick boy, and this is probably the most important part of this video, probably the best piece of information. If you're looking to upgrade the graphics card on the Corsair ONE Pro 2017 and you're not sure what size GPU is going to fit, the 6900 XT reference design is absolutely the biggest card lengthwise and thickness wise that you can fit in this chassis. Take it from me, after putting this thing in here, there is absolutely no more space thickness wise and lengthwise that you can go. So this is the perfect card if you're looking for dimensions to measure against. So if you're looking for a GPU, use this as the reference and make your choice based off that. But basically from here, it's pretty much just doing those steps we did before in reverse. However, there is one interesting thing I had to do. This, like I mentioned, this card is literally the biggest you can fit in here. And one thing I had to do was remove the little display cable extender adapter thing in the case, that little grey box down the bottom. I ended up having to unscrew this temporarily to get the card in, and once the card was in, all seated nicely and everything was screwed in, you can actually then put that adapter piece back in the back and screw that back in place, and everything works as normal. But that's basically the hardest part of this whole swap. It's just doing that little module, in my case anyway. So after that, you can screw everything back together, plug your display cables back in, and depending on what kind of outputs your graphics card has, would depend on what kind of cables you plug in. In my case, I think I plugged in HDMI, 2 display ports. There was a spare display port here and I just tucked that away nice and neatly down the bottom. You probably want to start your computer back up in safe mode, download the proper graphics drivers, uninstall the old ones, and you should be good to go. You should be up and running. And yeah guys, we're all done. You can see I changed the LEDs to the true Team Red. But in all seriousness, I may also be switching over to an AMD CPU later down the track. We'll see how that goes. If we do that, I'll end up making a new video for that as well. One of the nicest features actually of the 6900 XT, I wasn't sure if the 2080 Ti did this, I don't remember, but when the card is not actually under load and not doing anything, the fans don't actually spin. So that's, like, to me that's a nice little bonus. It keeps things nice and quiet, and once you start actually putting the thing under some load, under some heat, the fans will kick in automatically. But that's it from me. I hope this video helped you somehow, and I'll see you next time.